Can I admit something? A few days ago, I opened our bank account and I caught myself thinking, where did our money actually go this summer? Because we didn't take an extravagant vacation. We weren't even shopping every weekend, but somehow, between swim lessons, art classes, extra gas, grocery runs, and those little ice cream stops because, well, it's summer, I think our spending actually quietly drifted higher than I expected, and maybe yours did too. And if that's you, this episode isn't about feeling guilty, it's about hitting reset. Hi, I'm Marianne Agudo, and welcome back to Unpacked and Empowered Finances. I'm a financial security advisor here in New Brunswick, and this podcast is where we unpack money in a way that feels practical and realistic. Before we jump in, if you enjoy simple, judgment free conversations about money, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel or follow the podcast. It helps more busy moms and families find these conversations. And of course, it means a lot to me. And as always, everything I share here is for general education only, not personalized financial or insurance advice. And it doesn't replace a real conversation about your specific situation. So let's do what I like to call a midsummer reset. Not because you failed, not because you're behind, simply because life changes and our money should occasionally catch up. So let's break it into five doable steps using the word reset. Step one is to review. Here's what I want you to do, and this might surprise you. Don't open your budget first. What you're going to do is to pull up your bank and credit card statements, look back over the last 6 months, not to judge yourself, just to observe, because these numbers will tell you stories. I recently worked with a mom who told me, Marianne, I feel like I'm terrible with money, but after we reviewed everything together, she wasn't terrible with money at all. She simply hadn't planned for summer, kids' camps, activities, outings. Life happened, and that happens to so many families as well. Now, here's the good news: you don't need to predict what might happen. You can actually see what happened. And you just have to remember that you don't need to overhaul an entire year. You just need to finish the second half strong. And as you look over those numbers, maybe ask yourself two simple questions. And the first one is, are we bringing in more than we're spending most months? And the second thing you'd want to ask is, where did spending naturally spike over the last couple of months? For many families, it's dining out, kids' camps, or utility bills rising with the summer heat. For us, it's gas and road trip treats. Wherever it shows up for you, just note it down. We're gathering information, not assigning blame, and that's what a review looks like. Step two is eliminate. Eliminate a money leak. This one should take maybe 5 minutes. Scroll through your recurring charges. Find one subscription that maybe no longer adds value to your life. Maybe it's a streaming service. Maybe it's an app you forgot about. Or maybe it's something that felt like a good idea in January and never got used. Now, imagine redirecting that amount, whether it's $10, 15 or 30 a month, straight into your savings account or towards a debt payment. Because small decisions repeated consistently often make a bigger difference than dramatic changes that only last a week. So that's eliminate. Step three is to schedule one big decision that you've been putting off. One thing I noticed about moms is we're incredibly good at taking care of everyone else, but we're also really good at postponing things that feel emotionally heavy. So this could be things like reviewing insurance coverage, maybe updating beneficiaries, checking whether our savings goals still match our lives, or creating a will that you've been putting off. Not because we don't care, usually because we're too busy or because we just don't know where to start. And this is exactly why I'm excited to be partnering with Clear Estate for something I think that you should be putting on your calendar. So, I'm hosting a free 1 hour lunch and learn webinar called Protecting What Matters Estate Planning. And this is happening on Thursday, August 20th at 12 noon Atlantic time, right at lunchtime. So we're breaking down why every parent needs a will, even if you don't think you have big assets, what actually happens to your children and stuff you owe or own if something unexpected happens, and how to plan ahead for health or financial incapacity. So this is totally free and designed for busy parents who've been putting this off. You can definitely register using the link in the show notes below and think of this as your chance to schedule that big conversation that you know you need to have. That's what step 3 is: schedule. Step 4 is establish. Once you've taken a step on one of those bigger items, whether that's scheduling a call or registering for the webinar, pick one main financial priority for the rest of the year. Trying to fix everything at once causes burnout, so just choose one clear focus. Maybe it's building $1,000 emergency buffer. Maybe it's paying specific one credit card, or maybe it's starting a holiday fund. And speaking of which, fall and the holidays are closer than they feel. So if you want to spend $600 on holiday gifts and travel this year, that's only $120 a month over the next 5 months. When you break a big number down into monthly sinking funds, it becomes completely manageable instead of a December emergency. So that's established one priority broken into bite sized pieces. Step 5 is transfer. Last thing, automate it. As moms, your mental bandwidth is already stretched. You have a kid, a job, a life, and you don't have to manually move money every week. So set up an automatic transfer on payday that moves $25, 50, or $100 straight into your savings account, your investing account, or towards your debt, whatever's your priority. If you don't see it sitting in your checking account, you won't spend it, and your future self will absolutely thank you. So let's recap the reset framework. Review your numbers with kindness, not judgment. Eliminate one money leak today. Schedule one big decision you've been putting off. And establish one priority for the rest of the year and break it into doable monthly chunks. And lastly, transfer money automatically so it happens without you having to think about it. Whatever your next step is, make it small enough that you actually do it. And if estate planning or securing your family's future is on your list, grab your free spot for Protecting What Matters Lunch and Learn on August 20th. The link is right on the description below. So, if today's episode was helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another busy mom who could use a little encouragement today. Those small actions help this podcast reach more families, and they mean more than you think. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Until next time, remember, one conversation, one decision, one step at a time. That's what becoming unpacked and empowered is all about.